15 years ago, when the idea of the game was first put forward, I was really quite excited. It was an interesting creative project, and I thought a game would be great fun. But as it progressed and we began to develop it, I realised that it had enormous potential as a transformation tool. I'm a painter and a sculptor and a performance artist. I did my honours thesis in shamanism, in fine art, and that's actually where the core idea came from for the game. I don't think there was ever a time in my life when I didn't create art, from the time I was very, very small. My name is Jennifer, and I'm on Pozible because I really want to give this project some wings. The game starts with the process of people writing their question, and this is a very important part of the game. And it might be, why do I do so badly in job interviews? The question can be about anything. You place your hands into the little leather pouch, and whatever gemstone slips into your fingers is the one that you'll use as your game piece. And that stone has a meaning, and the meanings are in the instructions, and everything in this game has meanings. People set off around the board. They collect cards as they go. Now the process of the game is measured by bone cards. It's as if when you posed your question, you deconstructed yourself. And in this process you have to collect 10 bone cards, which will be your marker of your reconstruction. However, the burden cards, which are about the challenges of your perhaps difficult thinking in something, they will take the bone cards away.
Hard work is your perception of hard work, because the questions are challenging for yourself.
It forces you to be very honest with yourself, and so just to take that time out in our busy lives to actually stop and focus and go, what is the most important thing for me right now?
Because when I've played the game, I've obviously asked questions about myself and what my barriers are. So for me to recognise what the barrier is, and the game will really let you know what your problem is, because it keeps coming up again and again and again, and you get to explain yourself to yourself and to others again and again, why it's a barrier and what can you do about it, and you'll reaffirm how it can be different. So once you've actually got past that, it's kind of, I don't have to do this anymore, and you can move on, which is always such a joy.
And so just every aspect of it, it was so beautifully made, so lovely to look at. The actual concept of the whole game itself.
One of the things that the receptionist said to us, what is that thing that you're doing? And I said, we're playing a game, the Shaman Journey game. And she said, but I thought it was very serious. And I said, it can be. And she said, we have never heard laughter like that before in this place. She said, it's so hearty, not hysterical, hearty.
I've used it with clients, and I've used it with community as well, a spiritual community. And it works brilliantly with both. And it builds community from strangers.
I'm looking for $25,000, which will give me the technology I need to get the project up and running. And I'm hoping that you will find the rewards as exciting as I feel to offer them. There'll be games, of course, the standard game, but also a special game, which will have a lot of handmade elements in it, and I'm really looking forward. I'm quite excited about producing those. More than just finding financial support for this, it's about it coming from the place that you want it to go. If you get a good response to this, then you know that there's a real home for it out there. And that's what I'm looking for in this process, is to know that there's a real home for it, that it has a place in the world, and that in finding that on Pozible, then you're given the means to get it out into the world. In putting this into production, it will allow me to produce them in greater numbers, of course, but also in a more accessible price. But I didn't want to lose the cottage industry aspect of it. I feel like there's so much heart in this game. I couldn't bear the thought of it being produced somewhere far away by faceless people who had no idea what it was and didn't know how special it was. So I thought what I really wanted to do was produce it in my own little hometown, and it's a very small town, and there's not much going on there, and I thought this would be a great place to have a little factory.
I think this is a wonderful resource to have in your household. It's something really not just that adults can do, but with children as a mum, you know, to have a tool where everyone can sit around the game, and it's not, you know, like Monopoly where, you know, you're sending a message which is he who has the most wins.
I'd say have a go, have a shaman game, and see where it leads you.
The game is an excellent way to learn about yourself. It's an excellent way to learn about people in your life and just people around you, and to recognise that, one, we all have obstacles in life.
I have a website, theshamanjourney.com, and there's a Facebook page, and I'm hoping in the 90 days of this project people will want to keep connected and keep involved. I want to put up updates on there and tell you about the process of this whole campaign. And I want to do this because I would like to think that people get more than just putting some, giving some support and waiting for their game to arrive in the mail, that they're in actual fact taking part of in the process itself and getting involved in the journey.